I wonder if anyone would notice if I logged in for a while. Should be fine, it's just one feed.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tea Break with Nexga. So my name is Chayan and I'm a clinical psychologist from Remind Psychology Center. And today I have three gentlemen with me from Nexga. So I'm also one of Nexga coaches. So perhaps all of you could just introduce, who or what Nexga is, your name, where you're from, and what do you do?
Well, if you want to know, Nexga is an esports organization that specializes in Valorant. And my name is Raja Amirul Shah, aka Hakka.
I'm Mojo, and I'm the captain for the Valorant team, and I am from Brunei.
Hi guys, I'm the videographer for Nexga, and I'm not an esports player, I'm a casual player.
Okay, so today we're gonna talk about a number of topics that we mostly sweep under the rug. Okay, so sit back, enjoy, and relax. So I have a few experts here. It's the best time to ask this burning question. So, what are your thoughts about it? Of course, perhaps we can start with, just discussing why do you think parents don't allow their children to join esports in the first place?
I think it's because it's a big distraction from, getting to a certain point in life. Because gamers, they range in very young. So when you're young and you're competing, playing in games, parents usually don't like that. Hey, go study lah. Right? So it's just to a point where if you don't study and focus more on games, there will definitely be more games, especially at the early age, because focus on studies more, and I wasn't focusing on studying. I would run to the cyber cafe and just play the games. So far, I feel like it's been doing good. This guy's been taking good care of me right now. Well, what about your experience?
Well, not my experience, but for our parents, it's how they grew up, where esports wasn't a thing yet. So, they tend to, you have to go study first, get a degree, get whatever, go uni, then you can go get a job. Esports, your parents don't know how it works yet. You probably have to explain to them how they pay or what's esports, then maybe they'll try to, accept it a bit. But yeah.
Okay, so TJ, your parents have always been supportive?
No. So it took a bit of convincing, and and we talked it out, we settled it, and we reached agreement. Yeah.
So both of them are professional players, right? But we have Justin here, who is a recreational player or casual gamer, right? So for you, have you experienced this where your parents perhaps not too keen about you even playing games?
For me, as a videographer, I like making content. I like taking photos, taking videos, and I also like streaming my games. So I tend to stream, and me trying to stream and build a streaming career includes me playing games for long hours. And I can safely say my mom hasn't really been the biggest fan of that. I don't think it's like she hates me playing games. I think she's fine. I think in her head, she doesn't see the value of it as of yet. I think just due to her generation and stuff like that, it not being as popular at that time. So yeah.
Is there a reason why you're not into professional gaming?
I'm a casual player, but I really do like following the esports scene, like knowing these guys, and then also other players that I read about and watch. It's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard,
Yeah.
and I'm not even a pro, and I get really stressed. It's definitely the kind of dedication I think people shouldn't really look down upon.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of people, including my girlfriend, has occasionally asked me where'd you go pro? And I'm like, do you know the difference between how I play and how a pro plays? It's worlds apart, and also just the dedication they have is worlds apart. The mental fortitude they need to have too, is insane. Yeah.
And I really like what Justin said, and we definitely will come back there regarding mental health as well. And of course, a question back to TJ and Hakka, right? How do you know, wow, what was the moment where, okay, yeah, I'm made for this?
It reached to a point where somebody just came to me and was like, hey, you're good, way back then in this scene. And I'm just like, I kind of like it. So why not go further deeper into it?
I think it was in high school where me and my friends just decided to join tournaments, and so we just go out to our local cyber cafe and we just played there. Then we managed to, I think, get around maybe top 3. Then the top 1 team would come and talk to us like, hey, you kids are pretty good, why don't you guys start playing more tournaments? They like to see us play.
Okay, so how long have you all been in?
Around late 2018 where I started, taking competitions more seriously, and it was in our old game, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now I'm here.
Right now, where you are currently at in the esports scene, the concerns that your parents have previously before even going into it, is it like yeah, it's valid, or it's like it's totally opposite. This is a new way of life.
Yeah, I think my parents surely accepted it after quite some time. They saw me gaming a lot, and they saw like how much I can actually have a proper salary, and they were like, oh, okay, so this is a legitimate thing. Like, okay, now that you're old enough, do whatever you want.
Once you start winning tournaments, once you start getting paid, parents kind of get more accepting, but there will still be a bit of concern. It's like, how long can this last? So yeah, that's it.
Actually, how long can it
I
last?
think it depends on players
Yes, it does.
individually. Like if you're not promoting yourself, maybe 5 years.
Is there an age limit?
If you have a good way of marketing yourself, then if people truly come watch you, then that's another career path for you as well in esports.
So I can play all the way when I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And I recently read an article about this esports team called Misfits, who are prioritizing mental health now for their players and their staff. And a lot of people think it's all about the glitz, the glam, how it's easy, fun, just playing games, esports. But they don't know how it's actually quite stressful, and you're always working in high pressure environments. So for all of you, right, whether you are a professional, you're a recreational player, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to playing the game? Let's say specifically Valorant.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people get wrong is that you're just sitting down and you're playing. The stress that you get from like competing against other teams who are also on the same level as you, the stress is definitely there for you as a player. And that boils down to the question whether if you can handle your own mental health or if you cannot. And that's what makes you a pro player as well, in my opinion.
Okay. So what is your biggest struggle? Is it to manage that mentality?
Yeah, yes it was. I feel like my my biggest problem was my mentality. When I tilt, I just lose my aim, and it all just falls down from there, and most of my team gets affected.
What about TJ, captain?
For me, struggle is definitely
Not screaming at my teammates.
basically trying to reason with my teammates.
So I was very
Also, I give mad respect to TJ. The way he handles everything when we do a mistake, he's just like,
Wow. Okay, so really maintaining a
and then he just be very like passive. Not passive aggressive, just passive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I struggle with my own self. I have to tell myself, calm down. We are a team. Let's try to overcome this problem together. I don't tilt as much. I try to focus on the game rather than letting my emotions sway me. Probably need to work on their mental, like Miro.
For me, I'm a very
Miro has
emotional
been
player.
improving his mentality. That's very good.
It's hard when you're an emotional player. There are a lot of players out there that can definitely agree with me on this. It's just like when you play a game like Valorant, or if you go into running, right, or like any other sports, when you have a passion for something, of course you can get emotional very easily. So when it comes to Valorant, when something doesn't go what I expect it to go, I will become more emotional.
I mean, emotions are there to tell us, right? Like what matters to us. And what about Justin?
Like as a casual gamer, ranked Valorant can be quite hellish,
Hellish?
It's
Okay.
I think for me, like something I've struggled with is I definitely do have a competitive spirit. And I remember when I first started playing CS, I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw some friends of mine, like I couldn't get over just wanting to be better than them. And then I went on to Valorant, it was the exact same thing. Like I wanted to be better than everyone I knew. But like during COVID, obviously, like the world kind of was on pause. Everyone's life was on pause, and I definitely got into like a serious kind of I wouldn't say a serious addiction, but just playing it almost every day. And and I'm not a pro, so I feel like for more casual players, I think it's important to kind of have that distinction. But if you're not a pro, I think it can get unhealthy. Like my rank or where I'm at the game has a lot tied to my self-worth. So if I'm doing shit, I feel shit. I don't feel like I'm worth shit. And if I'm doing great, then I'm feeling great. But like I was really kind of alienating a lot of loved ones, a lot of people I care about. If I had a bad day of playing, I just did not want to talk to anyone. There are points even where I was telling myself, and I think even friends told me like, bro, why are you this stressed? You know, like relax. So I try to have a healthy balance. You know, I still play a lot, but I try to always remind myself to take it easy. You know, it's not the end of the world, and relax a little bit. So yeah.
Thank you for being so honest, Justin, right? So it relates a lot to self-worth, ego, addiction to a certain point as well.
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't just stay within the game, it also, translates to your personal life, right?
Yeah.
You're starting to isolate yourself, not wanting to spend time with people. I mean, a lot of tilting from both of you. And how does this whole, struggle that you face while playing Valorant actually impact your daily functioning as well? Or does it not? It's like, oh, you're just playing Valorant, then when I go out, it's like totally different person.
Don't eat, don't sleep. I'm up all night.
But in game, I will get into a more serious mode. I also will have fun, but it's like my job, so I have to take it a bit seriously.
I just can't find the right time for it, and because I'm already doing this at a professional level, I cannot find the time to play the ranked games. For example, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m. I have scrims, but then in the morning I have like my lifestyle as well.
And like tilt is a relatively new gaming term that I have been introduced. Can you just like share with the audience, like what is tilt?
Let's just show an example, okay?
Okay.
Screaming at each other.
Yeah, and I think generally what is tilt first?
Professional tutor, what is it?
Professional. Okay, so let me tell you from point A to point Z. Okay.
Wait, let me get my notebook.
When it comes to tilting, it's not fun, especially when you don't realize it. Because when you start tilting, it's gonna start affecting you and the people around you. And even though it's just a screen, there are still people in that screen. And because of that, when you tilt, they also get affected with it. And when they get affected, then everything goes wrong in the game. So tilting is just getting mad at your teammate and just say, hey, PJ, what your call wrong? Huh? Oh, your calls are perfect, I'm sorry.
My bad, G.
So tilting has a lot to do with like frustration, rage, and sometimes it really affects your gameplay as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course it looks different for different people. Okay, besides Justin, how do you know when like, oh,
I don't like that. That's a kind of culture with gaming and the internet, that just because people have anonymity, they feel like they have the power to kind of say really vile stuff to other people. I've been called a lot of stuff. I guess when I'm tilted, I just really start being really sarcastic. But I don't start it unless it starts on me. So unless someone says something to me, I don't really start anything bad. And if I do start anything back, it's at most just like one sarcastic comment, and then I don't really try to entertain the behavior. And I try to report as many people as I can, making gaming safer.
yeah, it's good. Okay, what about TJ? I mean, have you experienced tilting or no? Like, I'm like most zen person ever.
Nah, I have experience. Basically, tilting for me, it's where your mind is just focused on what happened during the round, rather than focusing on what's gonna happen in the next round. Like, so sometimes unlucky things can happen in game, or maybe your teammate does a really bad mistake that costed you the game or the rounds. You really can't move on that quickly, but good players, you can just go on to the next round and like forget the next round. So you just say, next try guys, next try, let's go next round, forget what happened. Once someone's tilt, it'll bring all the vibe down or the whole mood of the team. So it's a really bad thing.
So the pressure is a little bit on you as well, because I mean, as a captain, it's a bit hard to manifest that whole tilting because everyone's looking up to you. If you tilt, means everyone confirm tilt.
Yeah.
So the pressure is to not tilt as well.
Yeah, so I've managed to learn how to control my tilting.
Okay. Of course, last but not the least, king of tilting.
He just starts listing off all the insults he says.
You want my list? I got a whole list.
Yeah, so how would you like, this is like 10% Miru tilting, and then?
I have two different types of tilting. Alright, so one is when I'm with my team, when I tilt, I become real quiet.
Quiet,
Yeah,
okay.
I become real quiet. Because in the back of my head is just don't say anything, bro. Just don't say anything. Yes, you're gonna just bring the whole mood down, right? And the second time is when I'm not with my teammates. It's either I don't say it or I just say it to my screen, but then after that I'm just like, nice try, it's okay, go next. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You just gotta recognize what's happening. Even becoming quiet is just bad. Like, yeah, it's just like, you still need to provide your teammates with comms.
I just want to clarify so I don't seem like a goody two shoes. I do say a lot of stuff. I just don't turn on my voice comm so they don't hear it.
That happens a lot. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
There's like this Valo mic bug, right? The hot mic.
Yeah. Oh no, recently, yeah. Right now the hot mic. Oh my god.
The hot mic, basically, you press on the mic, okay, on Valorant, you press the mic and then you can turn it off, right? There's been a bug in Valorant where you press it and then the mic still stays on. You'd be surprised with the amount of shit that people talk to their teammates. And then they're like, after that, they're just like, hey, nice try. And then they realize the mic is on and it's like, oh,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, dude, you won't believe, like, I just calmed something small, then I let go of it, so I thought it was off. And I was on a Discord call and with my friend who was also in the game. And then I just started going off about just two of the players in our team.
Okay.
And then
And they can
my
hear
friend's
it,
like,
and
bro,
they
bro,
can
bro,
hear
bro,
it.
bro, bro, your mic's on, your mic's on, your mic's on. And I was like,
bro.
Uh-oh.
calm, it's okay. And they never talked the entire game after that. I felt really bad.
Okay.
And like, I would like to clarify, I didn't want to say it to them. I just needed it to come out.
Right.
If I knew it was on, I would have just kept it in.
You guys know, don't you? You guys all know. You know? You know?
Know what? Know what?
Our Ominous Tarek.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who that is, so he could be.
Damn. I feel humbled. Why do I just assume they know who I am?
Yeah, he's like some sort of... I don't know, he's whatever.
Alright, I'm selling. Hot mic! Oh my god, bro. Hot mic.
I don't know what that is. It's just like, okay, you're tilting, but you're also saying it. You're saying it to yourself, but you're just not saying it from them.
it's kind of.
I mean, of course, everyone needs an outlet, right? Emotions, again, serves us a purpose. When we're angry, we're sad. A lot of people like to, link that to, oh, it's a negative emotion. Only happy is a good emotion, but that's not true because our emotions are not like switches. Oh, okay, I want to be happy all the time. And it's always a balance. Sometimes it's really not the emotions that you're angry, you're mad, you're raging that is the issue, but really how you express that is the issue. Yeah. So of course, let's say, lashing out, just saying to yourself when the mic is off, that doesn't really seem like a problem. But when the mic is on, then it becomes perhaps intentional or unintentionally harming someone else's as well. But I don't know, have you all been the receiver of...
Honestly, when it comes to like a random person, I just don't care.
Yeah, same. I just ignore it. If they say something, I just ignore it.
But if it comes from like TJ or Simon or whatever, I'm just like, sorry boss, sorry. But no, I take their words more seriously.
What about like other terms when it comes to in-game harassment? So I read like riffing, trolling is basically to annoy someone else, just to say any remarks to make that person vibe just go down, right? So have you all personally experienced, let's say, cyberbullying? Because a lot of people have, like you said earlier, Justin, they have so much power because of the anonymity behind the screens. They can create avatars, different alter egos, and just remain unknown, right? And there's no responsibility, no accountability to what I say. I could just be xxx.oxxx, right? So have you all experienced, let's say, cyberbullying? If you're the bully yourself, you can also own up.
Okay, when it comes to Valorant, that's definitely cyberbullying. When it comes, definitely. You get people who throw your games. Sometimes you can't even tell if they're just bad or they're throwing your games. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. What's your take on it, TJ?
Valorant, the main thing is to get 13 rounds first to win the game. But once someone starts trolling, their main intention switch from winning the game to just harassing the person they want to troll, or so that's my take on trolling.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, I guess. Like, once again, I agree with them. Like, if it's just some random person, like, who cares? But I do know I've not had like good days, and I get online, I'm playing, and that happens, and it hits a little harder, mainly because of my day. People respond differently. For me, it doesn't affect me much, but I do know of some friends who have kind of cried over the game and stuff like that, just because of like some words, and words sometimes cut deep. So yeah, for the most part, I've never done it though. Like I've never gone far. Like I mean, like I said earlier, I don't say anything until someone has said something to me. No matter how much it's clear you're trolling my game. Even the other day I had someone who was trolling my game, but they were silent the entire time, not talking on chat, so I never said anything to them. Also, depending on the severity of what you say, that also kind of measure my response.
For me, it's just like, another part is like when they're talking to me, I don't care. But once they start doing the stuff, right? Like for example, throwing arounds, and they're just throwing my games. I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? It just reaches to a point where it is what it is. And if you're solo queuing, you get 4 teammates, and just hope to God they're gonna calm, they're not gonna troll, and they're good, right? If you don't get it, it's okay. It is what it is.
What would you all think is the most helpful way to deal with this kind of people? Whether you are the person, you are the victim experiencing it, or even as a bystander when you are watching someone else get hit.
Yes. I see. Okay, my way of doing it is by responding to it with some level of kindness as well. So like when they're like trolling, trying to get on your bad side, if you start responding in a more hostile manner, they're gonna keep doing it, right? So if you just like ignore them and you just keep playing your game, and if they need help, you help them, then you prove to them that the rounds can be won or whatsoever, right? Then maybe they just stop.
So killing them with kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. What about TJ?
I usually just ignore them. So like they talk to me, I'll just pretend like I don't hear them. Go on with the game, try to win. Pretend it's like a 4v5. This guy is useless.
It's just like it's a 4v5, but you still have that player in your team. You know, you can be some of use. You know.
What about Justin?
In the end of the day, I just try to perform my best in the game. If a friend of mine I'm playing with is getting a lot of heat is headed their way, I try to step in. I'm not going to give a goody two-shoes answer and say I kill them with kindness. I do kind of try to kill them with violence, but I'm not trying to like throughout the game constantly just speak. You know, I'll say maybe one thing and then I'll just tell my friend mute them because they're not going to say anything nice. Just do your best. I was playing with a friend once. I told them, do you want to log off? You know, because this is just like, we're not pros, it's just a game for us. Let's log off. You know, I know we're screwing the game for one more person, but at the same time, like, I don't want to hear you be talked to like this. And I'd rather just let's leave and go play something else or something like that.
Okay, so we have heard from 3 of them. We know that esports is not just behind the screens, but really it comes with before the competition or before a game, the intensive training, even the mentality, expectations during the competition, during the game, and of course the aftermath of victory and losses as well. So while we're coming to a close, perhaps all 3 of you can just leave us with your top 2 strategies on how you maintain composure during competition or your game, or how you really keep your head up in the game.
One is just recognizing what your emotions are, right? And second is just noticing how it's gonna affect the people around you, right? So that's why it's just like, I'm a goody two-shoes, I'm like you, right? Even though that person is trolling my games, of course I would still try my best to be kind to them because I still want to win.
So top 2 for before tournaments? Or
During tournaments or even before?
okay, top 2 would be for me. It's main thing is to be understanding to your teammates because it is a tournament setting, so the stakes are higher. Your teammates might be a bit more nervous, so nerves might be on the table. They might, make small mistakes they don't usually do. So I will overlook those and just be more understanding. Second would be to remind myself that I have to lead them. So I need to have a calm and composed thinking, mind, or whatever. And also, my emotions won't affect whatever decision making I have to do. So that's it for me.
Well, for me, it's not tournaments. It's more like if you're just going to play, log on and play a rank. My first thing is... Yeah, I'll replace you, okay? Don't worry. I'll talk about tournaments one day. But for me, like, first thing, if you're not having the best day, maybe don't log on to Valorant. And secondly, try to take breaks. It is easy to get addicted. It is easy to kind of, especially in a competitive game like Valorant. But try to distance yourself at times. Don't tie so much of your self-worth. And also, just put some distance. Go outside. Go to the gym. Go for a coffee with a friend. Touch grass. Exactly.
Right. So thank you all three of you, Miro,
Thank you,
TJ,
thank you.
and Justin, for your
you.
input. It has been a pleasure to have all three of you, and of course, we can see from the conversation that our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all interrelated. So, of course, if you feel that you are going against your capacity, beyond your capacity to maintain your emotions, our doors are always open for Remind Psychology Center for any therapy sessions. And of course, if you want to know more about esports, log on to all their links, check them out. Okay.
All our socials, Nexga GG, links anywhere somewhere above.
You want to pre-order our new shirt, maybe? Let's go. You can see his back. Oh, stand up, TJ. Stand up. Show them the back. Yeah.
So I got some new drip.
So you got a new
Stay
shirt.
tuned.
If you want to buy, pre-order, links up here. Just follow us.
Okay, cool. So I think that's all we have. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.